Hi everyone, it's me Sammy. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hope you're all having an amazing day whatever it is you're doing. This is another meals I made this week episode, guys, where I share 4 new dinners and 1 new dessert recipe every single week with you. I break down the cost per meal, I show you the point of view of me actually cooking it, share with you the method and the recipe, and then we go into portion sizes and sort of serving up and stuff like that, and show you what little garnishes to add to make it extra special. And yeah guys, that is what this video is. If you do enjoy it, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button and consider subscribing down below if you haven't already. And yeah, without further ado, let's see what I made this week. It's Tuesday evening, guys, and tonight I'm going to be making a Brussels sprout cheesy pasta bake. Really excited for this dinner. Let's run through the ingredients and the overall cost of this meal. Going to need some plain flour, some olive oil, some balsamic vinegar, some penne pasta, some whole grain mustard, mature cheddar cheese, Brussels sprouts, 2 cloves of garlic, some butter and some milk. Altogether this comes to £3.74. Let's dive into the cooking. First step is to preheat my oven to gas mark 6, and then I'm going to halve our Brussels sprouts and pop them into a roasting tin. Now to our halved Brussels sprouts, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar and 1 tablespoon of olive oil and toss that all together. Then we're going to bake these in our preheated oven on gas mark 6 for 10 to 15 minutes, turning halfway. And then we're just going to cook our penne pasta. I'm using 350 grams. We're just going to cook this until it's still got that bit of bite left, so about 2 minutes left, then packet instructions, and then we're going to drain that and set that aside. And for the rest of my prep, I've just grated 200 grams of the mature cheddar cheese and minced 2 cloves of garlic, and then I've measured out 500 milliliters of milk as well and popped the milk back in the fridge. That is our sprouts all cooked and taken out of the oven. Our pasta's cooked. I've just drained that off in a colander. That's setting aside as well. Now we're going to pop 2 tablespoons of butter into our saucepan and melt that. And once our butter is all melted and heated up, we're going to add our minced garlic and 3 tablespoons of plain flour to this and cook that for 1 to 2 minutes. Now that our garlic, butter and flour has been cooking for a couple of minutes, we're going to start gradually adding our 500 milliliters of milk, continuously stirring until it's nice and smooth. And then what we're going to do is simmer that for 5 minutes until it's nice and thick. Now once we've been simmering that for 5 minutes, I've taken it off the heat now. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of whole grain mustard and the majority of the cheese. I'm going to reserve a handful for topping on our pasta bake afterwards, but we're going to add the majority of the cheese now and the mustard. Now we're going to season our cheese sauce well with salt and pepper, and then we're going to add our pasta back into this now. Now that's all mixed together, we're going to transfer this into our baking dish, and then we're going to top this with our remaining cheese and our roasted Brussels sprouts. And then we're going to pop this back in the oven on gas mark 6 for 15 to 20 minutes until the top is golden and bubbling. That is our pasta bake all cooked. Now it's time to serve up. That is our dinner all served up, guys. We've got my portion here. We've got Tyler's, Liam's and Ava's got the same tonight as well. We're going to go and enjoy this now, guys, and we'll catch you later in the week for some more meals. It's Wednesday morning, guys, and for pudding tonight I'm going to make some Terry's chocolate orange brownies, and I want a few hours for them to set in the fridge, which is why I'm making it this morning. So let's run through the ingredients that I'm going to be using for these brownies. I'm going to be using some plain flour, some unsalted butter, 4 eggs, caster sugar, cocoa powder, some Bourneville dark chocolate, 2 Terry's chocolate orange balls and 3 Terry's chocolate orange bars that are 35 grams each. That's everything I need. You can also use some orange extract if you want an extra orange flavour in your brownies as well. But this is everything I'm going to be using, and yeah, let's dive in to make them. I've preheated the oven to gas mark 4, and I've also lined my cake tin ready for my brownies. Now into a small saucepan we're going to be putting 200 grams of unsalted butter, 1 of our Terry's chocolate orange balls, which is 145 grams, and then 150 grams of our Bourneville dark chocolate. Then we're just going to melt this all together over a low heat until it's all smooth. And once that's all melted and smooth, we're just going to set this aside now and let it cool down to room temperature. Now into a large mixing bowl I'm going to whisk together 4 eggs and 275 grams of caster sugar. Now we want these whisked so they're almost like a mousse kind of texture, and you'll know it's done when it's a lot paler and also when it leaves a trail when you lift the whisk. That's the kind of consistency that we want for our eggs and sugar. Now into a little bowl we're going to measure out 90 grams of plain flour and 35 grams of cocoa powder. And then the last bit of prep we need to do is just to chop up our Terry's chocolate into rough chunks. I'm going to be using a combination of the traditional Terry's chocolate orange and also the bars just to give different thicknesses, but it's about 250 grams of chocolate in total. Now all our prep's done, and now it's time for us to finalise
guys, these brownies into our egg and sugar mix. We're going to add our cooled chocolate and butter mixture now. And we're just going to fold that together gently now, trying to keep as much air in the egg and sugar as we can. Now to this, we're going to sift in our plain flour and cocoa powder into this now. Now at this stage, if you want to add an extra orange flavour, you can add the zest of an orange or 1 teaspoon of orange extract to really give it that orange punch. If you want to add that here, I'm not going to, but you can if you want to here. So yeah, we're just going to sift that in now. And then again, we're just going to fold this all together. Now that's been folded in, we're just going to stir through our chunks of chocolate orange now, and then we're going to pour it into our baking tin. Now we're just going to bake this now in our preheated oven on gas mark 4 for 25 to 30 minutes. That is our brownies finished cooking after 35 minutes in the oven. I gave it an extra 5 minutes because I just felt like it needed it. Now we're going to just let this cool down to room temperature, and then we're going to pop it in the fridge for a couple of hours to set before we serve it later. So you'll be seeing this after our dinner tonight. It's Wednesday evening now, guys, and we're going to be making some cottage pie jacket potatoes. Really excited for this meal. I'm going to be serving our cottage pie jacket potatoes alongside some broccoli. So let's run through the ingredients and the overall cost of this meal. I'm going to be using 4 baking potatoes, a whole head of broccoli, some Worcester sauce, cheddar cheese, 1 onion, 500 grams of beefsteak mince, 2 beef stock cubes, and some tomato puree. Altogether this comes to £7.14. Let's dive into the cooking. First step is to bake our potatoes. Now you can do this however you like to do it, guys, in the oven, in the air fryer. I'm a huge fan of air frying mine, so I'm going to prick them all over with a fork, pop them into the air fryer for an hour on 180. While the potatoes have been baking, I've just been doing some prep. So I've literally just diced up our onion, and I've grated some cheese ready to put onto our cottage pie jacket potatoes later. And I've also just chopped up our broccoli into florets and put it into some cold salted water, and we're going to pop that on to boil later. When our jacket potatoes are halfway through cooking, so when we've got half an hour left, we're going to start preparing our cottage pie filling. So the first step is to heat some olive oil into a large saucepan. Then we're going to add our onions into this and fry that for 5 minutes. And then once our onions are all fried up for the 5 minutes, we're going to add our beef mince into here now and fry it for another 5 minutes until our mince is all browned and well cooked. And then once our mince is all well fried and looking beautiful like that, we're going to be adding 2 beef stock cubes into here now with 750 millilitres of boiling water. We're then going to be adding 3 tablespoons of tomato puree and 3 teaspoons of Worcester sauce, along with plenty of salt and pepper to season. So this has been simmering for about 15-20 minutes now, and this is now looking nice and thick and saucy. It's delicious. I've just turned this off the heat now. Our jacket potatoes finished cooking as well. So I've just halved the jacket potatoes and put all the potato into this bowl. We're going to mash these now, make it nice and smooth with some butter, milk, salt and pepper. And I've also just preheated the oven to gas mark 6. Now that's our mashed potato ready. Now what we're going to do is just fill our potato skins with our cottage pie filling, and then we're going to top it with our mashed potato. For Ava's dinner, I've just put a little bit of the mashed potato and some cottage pie filling separately on a plate because she's not very good with jacket potato skins. Now we're just going to top our cottage pie jacket potatoes with a little sprinkling of cheese on each, and then we're going to bake these in our oven, preheated to gas mark 6 for 15 to 20 minutes. And while our jackets are cooking in the oven for the 20 minutes, we're just going to boil our broccoli. That is our cottage pie jacket potatoes all done and ready out of the oven. We're going to serve it up now with our broccoli. That is our Wednesday night dinner all served up, guys. We've got Tyler's, Liam's and mine here, and Ava's just got hers slightly deconstructed, so she's got the cottage pie filling, some mash and some broccoli. We're going to go and enjoy this now, guys, and we'll be back very shortly for some pudding. Pudding time, and I've just taken our brownies out of the fridge that's been chilling for a few hours. I'm going to chop this up now and serve it for pudding. And that is our brownies all cut up. I've put some more back in the fridge, but this is just our pudding for tonight, so I've got some more for tomorrow. They are so gooey and chewy on the inside. We've got the chocolate orange slices going through as well, and oh my gosh, guys, one of my favorite brownie recipes. Definitely give it a go if you're a fan of brownies and a fan of chocolate orange. And yeah, we're gonna go and enjoy this now, guys, and we'll catch you tomorrow for another dinner. It's Thursday evening, guys, and tonight I'm making an air fryer veg curry. Really excited to show you this recipe. Let's run through the ingredients and the overall cost of this meal. We're going to be serving our curry with some basmati rice. I've then got a tin of chickpeas, a tin of chopped tomatoes. I'm going to be using 2 or 3 tablespoons of korma curry paste. You can use whatever curry paste is your preference though. Then going to be garnishing our curries with some coriander and some red chilli. Then got a bit of ginger, a few garlic cloves, 1 onion, and about 400 grams of sweet potatoes is going to be used in this. And that's everything we need, guys. It comes to £3.33, super budget friendly. Let's dive into the cooking. First thing I've done is to pop my rice and water into my rice cooker. I absolutely love this thing. It cooks the rice perfectly and it's going to keep it warm until I'm ready to serve later. Now I'm going to peel and roughly chop our sweet potato. That's our sweet potato all chopped up. I've just tossed them in a bowl with like a tablespoon of vegetable oil. So I've just mixed all that together now. Now I'm going to preheat the air fryer. I'm setting the air fryer to 200 degrees for 15 minutes. I'm just going to let that preheat now. I've popped the sweet potato straight into the air fryer basket. That's going to go in now and cook for the 15 minutes. And I've just done some more veg prep while our sweet potatoes are cooking. I've finally diced up 1 onion, and then I've minced our garlic cloves, and I've peeled and grated our ginger. Once our sweet potatoes have been cooking for the 15 minutes, we're now going to add our onion directly into our slow cooker as well, and then we're going to cook that for a further 5 minutes on 200 degrees. Now that's cooked for the 5 minutes, we're going to transfer our onions and our sweet potatoes into a heat-proof dish that's going to fit into our air fryer basket. Now to this, we're going to add our ginger and our garlic, and we're going to pop that back in the air fryer for 2 minutes. After that 2 minutes, we're going to add our drained tin of chickpeas and either 2 or 3 tablespoons of curry paste, whatever your preference is. And then we're going to put this back in the air fryer for 4 to 5 minutes until it's sizzling. And then once that's done, we're going to add our whole tin of chopped tomatoes, and then we're going to cook that for 8 to 12 minutes until all the veg is tender and the sauce is thickened. If it gets too thick for your liking, then you can just loosen it with a little bit of water. That is our curry already out of the slow cooker. I've just mixed it up with some salt and pepper and just seasoned it. We're going to serve this up now with our rice. And that is our dinner all served up. I've garnished with some chili slices and some coriander as well, guys. That is my portion, Tyler's, Liam's minus the chili, and Ava's got the exact same as us tonight as well. There's also a little bit left over for some lunch later in the week. We're going to go and enjoy this now, guys, and we'll catch you tomorrow for another meal. It's Friday evening, guys, and tonight I'm going to be making some air fried chicken breasts served with some broccoli and some seasoned potato wedges. Let's run through the ingredients and the overall cost of this meal. Going to be using about 2/3 of this potato wedge packet from Asda. Got a whole head of broccoli here. We've got 600 grams of chicken breasts, and there's 3 chicken breasts in there. And then to season our chicken, we're going to be using salt and pepper, some garlic granules, light brown soft sugar, smoked paprika, dried thyme, and dried oregano. Altogether this comes to £6.62. Let's dive into the cooking. First thing we're going to do is mix together our dry rub for our chicken breasts. We're going to mix together all our herbs and spices and stuff. So starting off with 1.5 tablespoons of light brown soft sugar, then add in 1.5 teaspoons of smoked paprika, then add in 1 teaspoon each of dried oregano and dried thyme, and then add in a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic granules. Then we're going to season this generously now with loads of black pepper and some salt, and then we're going to mix that together and rub it onto our chicken breasts. Now that the chicken breasts are all coated, I've got our oven preheating to gas mark 7 right now for our potato wedges. And we're going to be cooking our chicken in the air fryer, so I'm preheating that now. I'm putting it on 185. We're going to be cooking the chicken for 24 minutes. So let's let that preheat now. That is our chicken going in now to the air fryer for the 24 minutes. And then that's our potato wedges going in on gas mark 7 for 20 minutes as per the packet instructions. And then I've just chopped our broccoli head into florets and popped it into some cold water. 15 minutes before the chicken's done, I'm going to turn this on to boil. Now all our different components are ready. It's time to serve up. That is our Friday dinner all served up, guys. We've got mine here, we've got Tyler's and Liam's, and Ava's got the exact same tonight as well. I'm going to serve this up now with some Nando sauce and bits and pieces, whatever the kids want for condiments. But yeah, we're going to go and enjoy this now, enjoy our Friday night, and we'll catch you next week for some more meals. That is everything that I have for you this week, guys. Let me know what your favorite recipe was down below. Hands down, my favorite this week and the favorite of the children was the chocolate orange brownies. Oh my gosh, so gooey, so incredible. Absolutely, like, if you haven't tried them already, definitely give them a go. And yeah, guys, also for main dinners, I'd say my favourites were the cottage pie jacket potatoes. Super rich, super tasty. Absolutely love anything with mashed potato, me. And also, do you know what, the air fried chicken with the wedges and the broccoli. Really simple dinner. Added some Nando sauce on the side of it, made it extra special. Packed a punch. It's actually inspired me to try and do an actual like recreation and a homemade Nando's meal next week, so stay
stay tuned for that. If you want to see future episodes of meals I made this week, then please be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss an upload from me. And yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the love and support of my channel, and hopefully I will see you very, very soon for another video. Take care. Bye.